Hello, I'm Chris Claremont, and I freaking love freaking comics. You got a problem with that?
Yo, my name is Donnie Cates, and I know the brand is I freaking love comics, but I fucking love comics.
Comics, movies, TV, video games, anime, your powers combined. I freaking love comics.
Live, Vegeta and Robot.
Shazah! What? Finger guns! What's up, IFLC? You're rad. I'm here with Robo. We have a very special guest. I'm not really sure what his identity is, but he goes by Batman, and I've never seen him in the same room as Michael Malone. So that's all I know about him.
Proof. Proof positive.
But yeah, the one and only.
I like to fight crime and read comics.
Nice. The two definitely walk hand in hand, I would say. So we got a
we'll definitely say I want to cover for her, but I'm not. MIA, no clue. Someone do a morale check on her.
Yeah.
We don't know where she's at. Hopefully she's okay. I'm sure she's fine.
She mentioned that she was trying to start her own YouTube channel called I freaking like comics.
I bloody love comics. Do also say bloody? I don't know.
Yeah.
I love comics.
IBLC.
Joking about my accent then.
Huh? No.
We're making fun of Ree's accent right now. We'll get to your
exactly.
accent.
We'll get to yours.
Yeah.
You're not safe.
Let me get my beer.
All
right. So we have some news items. We got some stuff to talk about today. And by the way, last night we chatted with Alex Packnadell, which, by the way, that was Oh, Michael, how's it going? Batman was just here.
Where did Batman
Where'd you come from? Yeah.
Batman's back door. He's fine.
Okay. Well, Curtis. So Michael Malone reached out to Alex Packnadell. He wrote Arcadia for Boom. He wrote this badass 4-issue series called Incursion for Valiant, and he's going to be writing 2 one-shot tie-ins with Empire for Marvel's big summer event coming out this summer. So we picked his brain about all those things, and it was really, really freaking cool. Good ass dude. And after the episode, he stuck around and bullshitted with us for like another hour. So I think it's safe to say that we're best friends, and he's coming to my wedding when I'm finally settled down. So that's kind of cool.
I mean, we definitely hung out like 40 minutes talking about life after the deal. So he's definitely a cool dude. He's definitely a laid back kind of guy.
And then next week we have, none other than Kevin Eastman, who's going to be on our show. It's confirmed, so this is happening. We're going to be talking to the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Actually,
exciting.
I still think of toys somewhere in the attic of Turtles when it was the animated series.
What's that?
You know, the animated series of Turtles?
Oh, I know the animated series of Turtles, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the attic, I've still got the toys in the attic.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, those are probably valuable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're out of the box, so, I'm not saying I still play with them, but I might do.
Dude, I went on eBay. I went on eBay to try and find, because I had those toys, but my mom, bless her heart, she was like, oh, Aaron's an adult now. I guess I can donate all his old toys. Like, she didn't think that would be a problem.
No.
I thought that was normal. And I'm like, Mom, are you out of your freaking mind?
She's any longer.
I went on eBay to try to replace them, and they're selling like a Michelangelo arm for like an exorbitant price. I'm like, Jesus.
That's ridiculous. Well, I remember Christmas morning, I got the blimp thing used to fly around in.
You had the turtle blimp?
Yeah.
Well, I had it. I pumped it up on Christmas morning. I left it in front of the open fire, and it just went.
Because it was like a Mylar. It was a Mylar kind of deal, right? I remember it. I remember.
I had it for about an hour. For an hour, I was happy, and then when it popped,
it reminds me of that. It reminds me of that. That YouTube video of the girl playing with the Barbie. She pulls it, and it like goes flying up, and she's like, she pulls the cord, it goes, zzz, and she's like, and then it just goes right into the fire.
Happens to you.
But when you're a kid and your toy breaks, you don't throw out the toy. You just keep playing with a broken toy. At least that was me. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's just fire, though, right? I don't think you pull out this melted plastic.
Well, you do the best you make do.
True.
Make do. So, check this out for segues. We're just talking about Kevin Eastman and the Ninja Turtles. Well, Kevin Eastman is also a editor for Heavy Metal Magazine, which I'm a huge fan of. I have like a fuck ton of them, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
Hey, do me a favor.
Yeah.
To interrupt, sorry. We got Polly in the chat, but we didn't post any ads out. Like, no ads. It's only Polly. It's 3 people in the chat. So, here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. I would like you guys to spend 2 minutes defending what bacon is for your country. I'm going to go on Facebook. I'm going to post a banner around. We'll get some people inside here.
It's bacon until you burn the hell out of it. Then it's just a fail.
So,
son of a bitch.
I'm gonna make a very short case for American bacon. It's basically a meal ready to eat because it is coated in bacon grease. It's basically surrounded by fat. It's a little bit of meat surrounded by fat. So all you have to do is fry it, and it's already friable.
They're saying you undercook your bacon.
No, we didn't say that, Mom.
You're fucking in trouble now.
Don't turn Mama Malone against us, please.
Yeah, I already know you like hair better than me anyway.
What gave you that idea?
I heard that. Shh. I'm going.
Don't start talking since you won't shut up.
That's funny. I'm going to post this out. I also got something wrong with my cameras. I'm going to reset this too. This is the joy of live right here. This is the joy of lives.
Easier.
Live is unpolished, raw.
Yeah,
raw. In your face.
Raw, ungreased.
Live is the UK bacon version of streaming.
What?
I don't think.
I don't know. We'll make that make sense somehow.
I don't think UK bacon is bad food. I mean, it's
actually really good.
Fun. It's good food.
It's just
bad food.
If I'm in a bacon mood, that's not what I want. That's all. That's
where the real battle is. Not which one is better. It's what is the name of it. That's the thing. Because I've had ham and eggs.
Ham, it's called bacon. And when it's crispy and you can snap it, then it's burnt and it's ruined.
That's the only way it needs to be.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
We used to like you. This is crazy. How did we become friends?
Because you wanted to make it international. You wanted a Scouser. Oh, by the way,
yeah.
This is what Constantine sound like. John Constantine is supposed to sound like me, not Matt
really?
Ryan. That's wrong.
Not Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves did the perfect Scouse accent, better than yours. You need to work on your Scouse accent.
That Constantine movie is why he was sitting on a bench looking sad that time. Have you seen the picture?
Yeah, the meme.
Yeah, that's why he's sad, because of that film.
Hey, do you have your phone handy? I don't know why this is... Oh, I see it.
Matt Ryan, his accent is a Manchester accent, not a Liverpool accent. He's doing it wrong.
I wonder if there's like accents that are easier to do for an actor. Like, okay, I can't do Scouse, so we'll do this one, and nobody will know the difference.
Yeah, well, if you speak modern Scouse, no one
The
understands
Queens. Every actor learns the Queens.
it. The Queen Scouse.
The Queen's English, yeah. I don't
There's
know
a
if
name. There's a name for that. I forget what the actual name. I think it's received, right? Received English accent, something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Never heard that
Where is
before in my life. Are we supposed to be talking about comics?
Are you
We are, but we're delaying just to allow people to get in the room. And then I'm looking down. We still only have Polly in here, and I wanted to get this ad out. And I finally, the Facebook actual webpage is, I feel harder to navigate, or maybe I'm just so used to my phone that I have to like relearn it.
Well, the app I use, Facebook, at the moment, they did an update for it, and since it's been updated, it just crashes all the time. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's awful. I mean, Twitter works fine, but that's where the nasty people live, so I avoid that.
Yeah. You're not lying. Go ahead.
I'm addicted to Twitter. It's my favorite social network.
Is that the unfiltered Judah? Is that where the unfiltered Judah lives on Twitter?
No, it's where I tweet at celebrities and they respond. That's my favorite thing about it.
So I'm not the only one that gets excited when that happens.
I'm telling you, that's the biggest thrill of this generation for me, is that celebrities respond.
I've only been on Twitter since I think January, and the first time someone famous replied to one of my tweets, I was like, Mom, look.
Yeah, that's how it feels for me every time, man.
And he texts me every time, and I'm like, yeah, I know they all do it. I got it.
I've had like a legit conversation back and forth with Kurt Busiek, and I was like, this is like the dream. You know what I mean?
What's the conversation on Twitter? Like 2 replies or more than 2?
At least 3 replies with Kurt Busiek. I have to go wait.
That means you're going steady.
Yeah. No. You guys are besties now at that point.
I'm basically Judah Busiek now.
Yeah. But you're progressive, so you could be Judah Wiener Busiek. So hyphenate it.
Judah Wiener Busiek. Yeah.
Right. You have agency.
That sounds like the worst superhero alter ego I've ever heard in my life.
Hey,
That's actually his porn name. His porn star name is Judah Wiener Busiek. So
during the day, I am porn star Judah Wiener Busiek, but at night, I don't know. I didn't think of a superhero.
Just Judah. Just call me Judah at night.
Judah. I'm just Judah.
I spent all day going by my porn name. At night, just call me Judah.
Just call me Judah. I don't want to take a selfie.
I put my name into one of those porn name generators back in the day.
Yeah. What's your porn name?
Felicio Jones.
Okay. I mean, there could be worse ones. It's a little on the nose.
Sounds funny to me.
Felicio Jones?
Hey guys, Felicio Jones is on the scene.
Isn't there an actress, Felicity Jones? I'm pretty sure that's the play. Pretty sure.
Is she the one that someone should play Zatanna?
Oh
yeah.
I think she'd be a really good Zatanna, and
anybody who disagrees is a fucking piece of shit who's just trying to trigger me. For those watching at home, that's an inside joke. There's probably a wonderful person in real life, but over the last however many year plus that we've been on Facebook, there's one dude who just comes up every now and then. And he makes sure to let you know he's running a campain to get Felicity Jones.
And you know what? I never thought of Felicity Jones as Zatanna, but ever since this guy started talking about it, now
immediately
I really want it to happen now.
Oh, he's convinced us. It's like it's worked. The campaign has worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Hey, do me a favor. Invite Ree to the Skype.
Well, someone else is going to have to do it because I'm holding this tablet up against the wall with both hands.
No,
she
no, no.
back?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, she just came up.
Yeah, I'm all-
We're about to invite you into the chat. It was 8. She might. You know what? She might be. She might need to get ready. Free.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that. I knew that this is what happened. It's kind of our fault, and we did it on Wednesday too. We kind of had this assumption. We just started the noons last week, and we didn't reconfirm that it was new. We're going to be noon all the time.
We didn't reconfirm. Reconfirm. You see. Her name is. Never mind.
No, we got it. I gave you finger guns and everything. You're good.
Oh, okay. I thought that was finger guns. Like I don't get it.
No,
What time
Who does
do you guys know?
Who does finger guns for I don't get it? I don't get it.
I still want to go with the news shit that I pulled.
Yeah.
So,
Where are we?
Hell yeah.
Is it interesting?
It's good stuff. I got images ready for it and everything.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're talking about comics, movies, and TV.
I don't know why I'm so slow at pulling these images. It's making me sad for myself.
I know why I'm slow because I'm very drunk.
Are you? Hell yeah. Polly, are you drinking? Polly says in the chat talking about bacon. Yeah, one of them eats ham, the other eats fried bacon. Bacon should be raw.
Hey, Polly told me
spoken like a real. You know, I'm pretty sure like that's the one meat you're not supposed to like. There's no such thing as medium rare pork.
Can you imagine going to a restaurant and going, "How would you like your bacon? Crispy, English, or Russian?"
Pork. So a pork tenderloin can be a little bit slightly pink in the middle.
No,
that's okay.
No,
it makes it juicy.
No,
I don't know about all that. Anatoly Mertz, welcome. Give us 1 minute. Rhea is gonna jump on. We're gonna start talking. You know, we can hit up the news. We can start up the news.
All right,
just go.
Let's talk about the news. All right, so let me rewind a little bit. Sorry for Polly, who's the only person who was watching, but so last night we were up pretty late, just bullshitting with Alex Packnadell. He's an awesome comic book writer that Michael over here connected us with. He wrote this awesome Boom comic called Arcadia, and since then he's also written a 4-issue mini for Valiant called Incursion that is, by the way, one of the most badass things I've read in a long time, and the art is
super
really stunning. And then he's already written it. It hasn't come out yet, but he has written the 2 tie-in one-shots for Marvel's upcoming Empire event. So we had him on the show last night, and we had a really good interview. You guys will see it later after Robo does all the work and edits it. But it was a great interview, and then after the interview, he stuck around and bullshitted with us for like another 45 minutes, and he's an awesome guy. We're best friends.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't know he was a doctor. I don't even know what he's a doctor in.
Well, he's a doctor. He's got a PhD in literature, so, you know, I don't know if...
Doctor.
He's an academic doctor, but if you're in a restaurant and you're choking, he's not going to be able to do much for you. You know what I mean? Unless he knows the Heimlich.
He was the first one to. He was the first one to laugh at the fact that we knew he was a doctor. He's like, so do you go by doctor? And he just laughed. It's like, no.
He's like, oh hell no.
He's like, no.
It's funny. But so next week we're gonna have Kevin Eastman on, and that is incredibly exciting. He is the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is confirmed. This is happening. Kevin Eastman, our show. Man, it's exciting.
You can't tell, but I'm vibrating with joy over the sound, over the news of that. Oh.
Michael's over here vibrating. Michael is vibrating. Think about that.
I was wondering what that sound was.
Yeah. So Kevin Eastman segues well into some news. So Kevin Eastman, what a lot of people don't realize is he is the editor of Heavy Metal Magazine, which is, if you're not familiar, it's been around since the 70s, and I'm a huge fan. I have a shitload of issues, but it's a magazine that comes out every season, so 4 times a year, and it's basically like this thick prestige book that has all these short stories by different comic book writers and artists from around the world. But Heavy Metal is actually producing a comic, and this is new to them. They just started their own line where they're going to be producing their own line of comics. But they're producing a comic from none other than Dylan Sprouse. You may recognize that name from The Sweet Life of Matt and Cody, where he stars. He's making his comic book debut with Sun Eater, which is going to be 9 issues produced by Heavy Metal. And I'm excited about it for a couple of reasons. One, Dylan Sprouse, like, what the hell? I'm always excited when someone who doesn't do comics does comics. But also, if it's successful, it'll be good for Heavy Metal, that brand, because I like that brand. But even more exciting is get this, guys. This takes place in 9th century Norway, and it centers around a warrior, Kvelduf, who sacrifices his leg to the gods in exchange for a parasitic beasts that will help him rescue his son and enemies. Like, how fucking insane does that sound? That sounds like Venom mixed with Spartacus.
If you got over sacrificing your leg, you'd at least get like money or fame, but not a parasitic organism.
Is it truly parasitic, I wonder? Like, parasites, I think the relationship takes from you, hurts you. But if they're symbiotic, then
To be honest, so I can't really judge things.
I think symbiotes are in the parasite family. It's like a rectangle square relationship. Like, they're all parasites, but some are okay, some are symbiotes.
I have to
But
look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure though.
Oh, I'm gonna just say as well, I've never read.
Polly will let us know.
I've never read Heavy Metal magazine, but I did watch the movie on Judah's recommendation.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Is it dope?
Well, it sounded like a drink too much, but I was drunk when I watched it, and I don't know if that made it better or. But I was really enjoying it. It was great.
I think at this point, if I ever like interacted with you and you were like, I haven't drank in a while, that's when I would be concerned. I'd be like, are you okay? Is everything good at home?
That doesn't make me sound like a good person at all.
No, it does. It means I like to drink. Because you know what? It's the same thing about Polly. Polly the Russian, when she's not having a vodka in her hand, then I'm like, is everything okay?
That's it. If we ever meet face to face, we're having a drinking competition.
No.
My first game.
No. Because according to the scale in my actual mass, I am not lightweight. But if you take alcohol involved, I am a lightweight because I don't really drink that often anymore. And I'm like 4 shots, and I'm like 6 shots. I'm like, ugh. And
so. Yeah, you are like that, by the way. That's 100% fact.
The 6 shots I'm puking.
Yeah, I don't
exaggerating.
I don't get wild or crazy when I'm drunk. I just get sick, man. Like if I get too drunk, it's like I'm not like loud or obnoxious, or I'm not the guy that's gonna run down the street naked. I'm just the guy who's like, I gotta get home.
Well,
you know.
I did see a little bit of an asshole streak out of you last time we drank. Like there was a little bit. I remember like looking at you and I'm like, would you stop? And you were really entertaining yourself. And I think if it had been anybody else, I would have been entertained too. And you were like, there was the music on that you didn't really like care for because it's not your shit. And you were like, oh, is this what passes for good these days? Is this good music now? And I'm like,
I can just see Judas.
Where were we? When was that?
In the background, and he goes.
Where was
the
that?
karaoke bar?
I didn't insult music at the karaoke bar.
100%. You were super drunk, by the way.
Oh.
You were super drunk, by the way, and you were there with your date, the lawyer date, and then we were like all singing to this pop music that was there, and everyone was screaming, and then I remember you were like, "Oh, is this what good music is?" And then I'm like, and I remember looking at you, I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? Everyone's just having fun." And you're like, "Oh no, I just want to know, is this good music? Because I can't tell." And then I'm like,
This is
But you were wasted. You were wasted.
this is like 3 months ago,
Yeah.
maybe 4 months ago. This is a long ass time ago now.
You were super drunk. Yeah. So
There's
I don't.
always
I don't.
some- Remembers the stupid shit you did when you were drunk.
And then we tell it live on YouTube.
Well, so you heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first, guys. When I get wasted, sometimes I passive aggressively talk shit about the music playing.
That's right. Which is actually a super Judah thing to do. So
Well, so
at least
is
you're
it
in character.
My favourite drinking song is. Have you ever Mongolian metal? Mongolian.
Yeah, I have heard the Mongolian.
Yeah,
Metal.
I have.
The
I can't remember the name of the band. The what?
The Who.
The Who? I thought that was a British band from the 60s.
Same name but spelt different. But they did an amazing song called Wolf Totem.
Ooh, Wolf Totem.
With the throat singing and like the.
Oh yeah.
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 That
Like,
That's
so
super dope.
I'm singing along. It's great.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if anyone is listening to podcasts these days. A lot of people are.
Poly confirmed.
Rob Liefeld just launched his podcast. The first episode is out today, and I don't know how the rest of the podcast is going to be, but for the first episode, he kind of focused on iconic 70s creators.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically John Byrne, Neil Adams, and David Cockrum. So, I guess if you want to hear Rob Liefeld opine on all these older comic book artists, then
You know what he's going to talk about is pouches and belts.
Pouches, belts.
So I really like the way Neil Adams drew a pouch, but it was the John Byrne pouch that inspired me. You know.
Are you a superhero? You haven't got pouches? I don't know.
I think I wonder if it's gonna be interesting. I'm actually gonna give it a go. I started it. I started when it first popped up in the announcements, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna check that out. If anybody out there wants us to do like a react video or something like that, I kind of want to like go through it to see if it's anything interesting. Because not to say that what he has to say is boring, it just might not be modern. So there is a crowd for the Silver Age people, right? Huh?
He bullshits quite a lot, Liefeld, doesn't he? I mean,
which is like, I think that might be good to respond to, right? And I mean, the dude's here's the deal. Let me just put this out there into the universe now. Dude is a pro. Dude is a legend, and dude is a stake in the history of comic books, and he'll always be there. Whether he's playing the hero or the villain, the dude is. I would love to have the.
Yeah, when someone says Rob Liefeld's name, what image pops to mind?
Refrigerator chest, Captain America, immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But you know, like so my old friend was on here. Was in the chat last week, and he's actually one of like the diehard. He will defend Liefeld to the death. And by the way, and we said this back in February as well, but I'll repeat it here now. I may have tried to prod Donnie Cates into like, hey, so what do you think about Rob Liefeld, right? And Donnie Cates immediately shut that shit down and was like, he wasn't, he didn't embarrass me or anything, but he was just like, oh, you won't get me to say anything bad. He's super professional. Because here's the deal: whether you can look back, Aaron, Judah, sorry, what were you talking about before? As far as music goes, you're like talking about music where it's like maybe not technically proficient, but exciting, and the performance is great, right?
It's all about
like punk rock, like punk rock. Like punk rock is known for no one being particularly great at their instrument. It's punk. It's some guy.
My mum being an ex-punk, what is called punk rock nowadays deeply offends her.
right. But like, I'm talking like the do-it-yourself punk aesthetic from the 70s and 80s, where some kids they saw all these polished rock stars, and they're like, "Fuck, man, we can do that too." They grabbed some instruments and they bashed it out, and it might not be the most technically proficient music, but it's got a fresh, youthful energy that's like even the flaws are beautiful because it's so authentic and from the ground up and like almost like folk. So I guess that's how Donny Cates sees Rob Liefeld as like
a lot of people see him that way.
Yeah, and I've heard him compared to Jack Kirby too, which I don't 100% agree on, but I see why they're saying that because Jack Kirby.
I don't see that.
Well, this is why. This is why people say that, and I'm steel manning them for a second. People say that when Jack Kirby came out, he one of the reasons why he stood out is because his proportions were completely weird. Faces were really big. Like during fights, they'd have like arms hyperextend. Like they showed things were exaggerated. And when people talk about Rob Liefeld's messed up proportions, that's what people make fun of. Some fans look at that as that's a continuation of that Kirby style of weird of drawing things looking how they feel and not necessarily how they look, if that makes any sense.
Right.
But it's like Liefeld's an extreme. Like you can say like proportions exaggerated, but Liefeld is like a caricature of like what you'd expect of any sort of like comic character. I mean, Kirby, how you were saying then, yeah, I can understand that, but Liefeld's just Stephen Palace shit. Sorry.
No. That is not the official opinion of I Freaking Love Comics.
Liverpool, UK, maybe.
Okay. I added Reed to the chat when she comes out of the. There's not very much. Every time I try to do something in the background, I don't have the best computer here. Then my camera starts slowing down and stuff. So whenever she jumps in the chat, just if you can just go in and add her to the deal. I just gotta let this sit before it craps itself. But let's move on.
Judah, I need to ask you. Oh yeah. I've watched all the podcasts, obviously, because IFLC rocks. I mean, you have to watch all of them, don't you? But I'm really curious. Are you really low down, or are your shelves behind you really high up?
He's sitting.
I'm sitting in a chair. My shelves.
Go up to about your chest, right?
Yeah, they go up to about my chest. Yeah, I do have a lot of shelves. This isn't even the half of it, man. It's egregious in here.
Here, let me try to zoom out for people here. I don't know why the format is a little bit different on this. There you go. Look at that. Look at all that money he could have given the charity. Oh, interesting.
I did give it to charity. I gave it to the Judah Rad Needs Comics Fund.
Yes.
Which is an extremely important. It's probably the most important. I need some of that. Yeah. Actually, you've donated to the you've taken from the Judah Rad Needs Comics Fund and donated to the Robo Strange Needs Comics Fund, and that's like 80% of my trades.
That's true. I've donated to minorities in need, which makes me a really good person. So awesome.
Timing.
I also I did bring. So I had a lot of doubles, and I brought my doubles to the Children's Hospice in Honolulu.
That's right.
But it was a fulfilling.
Like I think comics need to be passed down. I mean,
agreed.
If you got too many comics or someone you don't like, I mean, if you take them to, I know you call them thrift stores in the US, but in the UK we call them charity stores. I mean, that's where I take comics I've got doubles of. I donate them and things like that because the idea of someone else getting joy from something I've had, that means that's what you want. Really.
I'm all about supporting. I'm all about supporting local comic book shops for real. But the comic cons that I've been to kind of showed me a different side of how many more comics do they really need in their dollar bins? Like every time Comic-Con comes out, the shops bring out 72 different boxes of buy 2 for 50 cents. I'm like, okay, I don't feel bad for not giving you my old comics. I'm gonna give these to some kids in the hospital.
Right. Yeah.
Like if there were like the UK equivalent of dollar bins in my local comic book store, I'd be just absolutely penniless.
Who's this? Who the hell is this?
Whoops.
Boom.
All right.
Welcome.
We were afraid that you started your own show called
Bloody Love Comics, IBLC.
Freaking,
was it.
like,
IBLC.
it was called SAC, Sussed About Comics.
This is a robbery towards women, but because I'm holding this tablet up against the wall, I'm going to have to shout my mum to pass me another beer, and I don't want that to sound derogatory.
Mom, beat me!
Let me look.
No!
Tell you you're more laugh, you'd be upset.
That's Mama Malone.
It's fair.
Hello, Mama.
There's one left.
The
You
older
had
brother.
it. Give me a cup of tea.
I'm not going to talk to you after that beer.
You be nice to the IFLC mother.
Yeah.
Hey, I can be as nasty as I want. You're in a different country. No! No!
Cute.
Carry on talking. I'll just.
No, we're waiting for you. We're gonna watch this exchange. No, I'm just kidding.
What did I miss?
Okay,
What do you guys-
some more news. So, hey, Reed, we've just been going down some news items. We talked about Dylan Sprouse's new series, Sun Eater. Talked about Rob Liefeld's podcast, and now we're about to talk about David Lindelof, the Watchmen showrunner.
Amazing.
He has come out in a recent interview and said that he wants someone else to make season 2.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's interested in continuing the series at all.
Yeah.
But if they decide to make a season 2, he doesn't want anything to do with it. HBO probably disagrees because the show did really well, and as we all know, people seem to really like money.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
yeah. So,
I'm so sorry I'm late, by the way.
It's not
okay.
a problem. You know, we were talking about it earlier. It's like I think we got comfortable, and then when you get comfortable, you make assumptions. Just like Wednesday, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna record on Wednesday, and then me and you were both like, oh, we are, and we just kind of have these assumptions. Yet last week was the first week we did the noon our time, and we didn't confirm, hey, we're gonna do this. So I kind of figured that you thought it was the later one.
So yeah, it's really not on you. It's more on Robo. So
You know those dreams
I'm the
you
worst
have where you're
offender
like,
here, guys.
sleep through. I'm guilty of this shit.
hey guys, if you see me doing it, call me
I'm
out.
number one.
Call me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold me accountable.
Nice.
Oh shit.
So
So you're absolutely right about the HBO thing, and the more I think about it, Reese said this a couple weeks ago. There's no way
I'd take
HBO is gonna walk away from a
HBO.
season 2
I'd watch another series of Watchmen. I loved Watchmen.
for sure. But here's the problem. Here's the worry. The worry is
I
that
don't mean follow on to the first season. I want to see like a different story set in that world. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. What's happening in the UK when the squid hits? What's the after effect around the world? Yeah.
that would be fascinating. That would be fascinating to see like another cast of superheroes in like somewhere else.
That's right. I mean, was the United States the only place where the Minutemen, sprang up and all this stuff? Did other countries follow suit? Like that would be great to see. But
My concern is so HBO, like any other company that likes money, they would rather make if there's a show, if there was 5 good they would rather have 5.
We're just being Michael.
we're making fun of Michael. Sorry, guys. You gotta just go with it, man. Keep talking. Go. You're live.
They would rather have 5 good seasons and 1 shitty season than 5 good seasons. You know what I mean? Like they don't lose anything if they just keep going till it sucks. Because even when it sucks, they'll still make a little bit of money before they decide to call it quits. You know what I mean?
I'll even go worse than that. I agree with you, but I'll even say a little bit more cynically. They'll go 5 good seasons and 5 bad seasons and run the fucking shit to the ground as long as each bad season's still making them money. You think the board of directors, at the creative directors at HBO's like, I don't want to ruin this title. This means a lot to people. They were like, can I make money? That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, Supernatural's been going 15 seasons, and I'm a fan. I don't think they've done 1 bad season, maybe.
But you're also a Snyder Cut guy, so your standards are like super low. So it's no, I'm just kidding.
Them's fighting words.
Hey, you and Matt Barlow are in good company though. So, I mean,
It's true. You're in good company with Ben Barlow. That's a good point.
Good dude.
Rob
You're
Liefeld's
balanced.
also a really Snyder Cut guy too, though. So, which is maybe a good thing. I don't know.
Other exciting news. Star Wars is back on schedule, comic wise. So Dr. Aphra #1 comes out this week. It's the first Star Wars comic to come out in a while. I love Dr. Aphra. She was introduced in Kieran Gillen's Vader series, and she's a badass fucking character.
So what's
Here's
the
the thing that
timeline?
worries
What's the
me.
premise?
Say what?
What's the timeline? What's the premise here? What's going on?
Indiana Jones, a
So
woman.
when Darth Vader was searching for Luke Skywalker before The Empire Strikes Back, but after A New Hope, Dr. Aphra was kind of like someone that he picked up along the way. She was almost like Vader's little sidekick for a while. She's kind of a sociopath, but she's awesome. She's like the Harley Quinn of Star Wars.
Oh, she doesn't
Okay.
get no shit.
So it'd be a mistake to call her the female Han Solo.
No,
yeah,
she's not.
Okay.
She's more of a dickhead Indiana Jones. That's the best way to describe her in space.
Okay.
Teacher Indiana Jones.
Yeah, because I gotta
That's
tell
right.
you, to be completely honest, and then please continue with what you were gonna say. What concerns you is I saw the way the cover was and stuff like that, and you know she seems to be like a badass, and I'm just like, are they just gonna redo Han Solo and just give her boobs?
I think she
no.
stands on her own.
Just to get what she needs.
Yeah.
Good. What were you gonna say?
Better,
What concerns you about it?
Oh, what concerns me is IDW is publishing Marvel books now.
Yeah.
And the reason that's
yeah.
happening is because Marvel has lost confidence in the title. They're not selling, so they're outsourcing to IDW. And I mean, Star Wars is imploding. I don't know if anybody has seen. It's pretty obvious, but the comics aren't selling. Enthusiasm has dropped. The movies aren't doing as well as they're doing well. They're making money, but they're not doing as well as they projected or wanted. Which in a system, in like a corporate system where they're investors, it's not just about making a profit. It's about matching projections. So Star Wars itself is not doing particularly well right now, and it's kind of sucks because I think The Mandalorian is the really only the big success story in like the past year or two,
Sure.
past couple
think
years.
that's the saving grace for like Star Wars. I think Star Wars needs to focus more on TV shows like The Mandalorian.
I agree, Michael.
I think it's kind of swung back around to like, you know how The Phantom Menace, even though it is a bit, but it could never live up to the hype that was built up for it coming out. So any Star Wars film that comes out, it'll never like fit the, be right for everyone. Someone always pick it apart. But I reckon everyone loves Mandalorian. There's barely that many negative things to say about it.
It's
And if you don't
universally loved.
Shit.
I actually have a friend who, no kidding, doesn't like it.
Why?
Like legit. Yeah, and he's like, he's not a stupid dude. He's actually. One more time, what'd you say?
I'm going to send him a stern letter of why he loves it.
Yeah, he's a good dude. You guys could actually, I'll call him out right now. Go on Facebook and Mark Phillips. Just tag him in the TV deal and just say, tag Mark Phillips. You don't like The Mandalorian? And he legit doesn't. He finds it corny. And in a way, though, but here's the deal.
Sounds corny.
I do not agree with him. I don't. But like I'm going to use the we'll make steel term a thing, steel manning a thing. We'll make it mainstream. The thing is that when you start looking at how dark and gritty comics want to get, and how dark and gritty movies tried to get, when you come back and you try, really, I would call it a course correction. When you look at The Mandalorian, that doesn't take itself super seriously, with Baby Yoda and the comedic value, and when you look at the fight scenes, how
that's what works. It looks like the classic Star Wars
That's
everyone
it.
expects and
That's it.
you remembers. But it's also like it focuses on being like a sci-fi spaghetti western, which
a
just
serial,
sit down to the
a
back.
radio.
Yes.
So you go to the original Star Wars, and the whole thing with the sliding thing was a cinematic version of an old Western serial, radio serials. That's what it was supposed to be. And then you got like, we're gonna make it serious, and you had the prequels, and we're gonna make it drama. We're gonna give you heart-wrenching story, and then you had this last one, which was dark and gritty. And then you had the Mandalorian was like, let's bring it back to the radio serial.
Yeah, the space opera.
The Last Jedi fan and Rise of Skywalker fan. I don't care what you say.
Say it again.
I like the last.
So my
As well, so.
Do not agree.
my advice to Marvel, if they want to continue these Star Wars comics, stop outsourcing to IDW, and stop trying to fill in gaps with the Skywalker saga that people have already done ad nauseum. Instead, make the comics supplemental to the things people like The Mandalorian and the Clone Wars. I think that's how they're gonna win back their audience.
I'm going to be honest. The last 4 episodes of the final series of Clone Wars was possibly the best Star Wars movie that was never made. The last 4 episodes story arc, oh my god, it was fantastic.
You talking about The Mandalorian?
Clone Wars, sorry, the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, I heard that's what people were saying. Yeah.
I didn't know. Like, you know, what's his name? Who's the guy who played Darth Maul? Was it Ray Park who played Darth Maul?
I don't know.
Man. Yes.
Well, he did the motion capture for the big lightsaber duel between Ahsoka and Darth Maul. He basically came back to play Darth Maul again, but in like a lightsaber duel, and it was all motion capture. That's why that duel looks so good, because it's actors rather than the CGI cartoony version of it.
Speaking of Ahsoka, she's going to be in The Mandalorian. That's exciting.
I heard.
Fuck yeah.
Polly says in the chat, Dr. Aphra is already out. Yeah, that's correct. I'm not sure if we said differently, but I think it was out. I think it came out digitally last Monday, maybe this past Monday. But it is out. So if you guys want to check out Dr. Aphra, go check it out. It's out digitally. Anatoly, the Star Wars is hard to recapture the magic. And you know what? That's actually pretty poignant, because this is the problem I have with a lot of fandoms. This is actually the problem I have with, well, I won't call it a problem, but this is where I disagree with a lot of fandoms. I'm going to say something that's pretty polarizing, especially with, where we at? Especially with our today's guest. And I know he'll disagree. Doctor Who. So, I love the new seasons. Listen, Linda.
Sonic screwdrivers. So if you're about to talk badly about Doctor Who, I'm gonna hang up.
I'm not. I'm not. I don't think we're allowing people from the UK into the country, so you have to after the plague. Or actually, I think it might be the other way around, because we're pretty fucked up over here.
I will find you. I'm a man of few skills.
I probably won't find you. I have no skills. No. That would make a way worse movie. No, but listen,
I have no skills.
I love Doctor Who. I have nothing bad to say about it. But when I came into it, with who was the first one of the new ones? He only had one season.
Yeah. The guy who destroyed Malekith in the Marvel movies.
Yeah. So you're exactly that dude. Man, what's his name?
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, the Eccleston. There you go.
He's my favorite.
And I like him. I like him. But that's where I started watching Doctor Who. And then Matt Smith is my favorite Doctor, right? But if you've been watching since a child,
the series, it looked better. I mean, I love David Tennant, but when Matt Smith became the Doctor, it looked like a new show. It was almost like semi-rebooted. Like, and plus Matt Smith, to be honest, I didn't like him the first time I watched his series, but I've got them all on Blu-ray. And the second time round, I was like, yeah, he's not trying to be David Tennant. He's his own Doctor. He's really, really good.
Hey, let me ask you a question real quick. Do you have headphones that you can plug into that?
Not on me. Why?
Okay.
Be audio.
No, it's just that whenever one of us is talking, your tablet mutes your mic, and so we all have to shut up so that you can talk. And we love talking over each other, so this is just not going to work. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
No, but here's my point is that what you just said is exactly right? I didn't come with any of the old nostalgia or watching Doctor Who as a kid, so then for me, I was just like, oh, this is awesome, right? And so when people come with this pre-built-in feelings into a franchise, newer shit or changes never really get a chance. And that's personally why I think Star Wars is failing. I personally don't have that big of a problem with the latest trilogy. But the problems I have with it are because I'm bringing feelings and emotions and stuff from my past into the new trilogy. And so...
Right. Yeah, is it its own new sort of story and style and look? You're like transferring what you remember from the old Star Wars into what's the new Star Wars now.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. See, I'm already getting it. Anatoly says Matt Smith. Sorry, cryface. I loved him. I love Matt Smith. The bow tie. He's just great. It's just great.
His hair.
His
hair needs touching.
I've never met him, but I could just imagine he probably smells very oaky.
That's why I like it.
Anatoly says, do some more Knights of the Old Republic comics. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's good shit.
That would be
awesome.
That would be awesome.
The movie should be Knights of the Old Republic. I know they're going back a couple of 100 years with like what's it called, the High Republic or
right
the new
the High Republic,
right. Which should be good, right? I mean, that's what people are asking for. Like, just give me something new, give it a chance.
Just give me a shitload of Jedi, a shitload of Sith, beating the shit out of each other. I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah, they just need to realize that even old school fans have no enthusiasm for the Skywalker saga anymore. That entire era of Skywalkers,
especially when you made it when you ended the whole series as not really the Skywalker saga anymore. I'm brain farting.
Palpatine saga.
Yeah. It's like 40 years of like the Skywalker, and then who was the actual one? Who's gonna want to bring the Force? Like, which Skywalker is it? Like, psych, Palpatine. The end. It's like, oh.
Take your weapon and strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey to the dark side will be complete.
Do it.
Can't help it.
Do it.
So I don't, Robo, I don't know if you got a chance to pull this cover art, but the cover art for Nubia Real One has been revealed.
That sounds sick.
She's Wonder Woman's sister. She's the second Wonder Woman and the first Black Wonder Woman, which is awesome. Very exciting. What do you guys think about this cover art, though?
It looks like, so I'm gonna quote Glynis. It looks like it's not made for me. And so I think it's great. I think it's stylistic, but it looks like they're going for like a YA kind of deal, or maybe older teenager, which is cool. I think we can't just be like, make sure all your stuff is for 35 to 40-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like it's not everything's gonna be for me, and this is cool. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. It's not my favorite kind of art, because it's just like, I don't know. It's not art that draws my eye, but
sure,
hopefully people like it. So that's.
Do we know like how is she like clearly African American and the sister of a Greek demigod? Like, do we know like any background, like how they are, or?
I don't know. That's not something I'm aware of.
Okay.
In the comments.
It's changing a lot. I mean, like what we had the whole. She was built out of clay. She's a demigod. She's so it's gonna be some weird like that. I mean, I remember there was I want to say it's a new 52 Wonder Woman, but it was this I think he cancelled the books, but it was like Wonder Woman basically fighting Lovecraftian monsters, like coming through into the human world.
That sounds cool.
It was
super
like Wonder
cool.
Woman, like horror. Like it just worked
Maybe
really
that's a bit
well.
like that. Yeah.
Too, but I can't remember. Plus, I can't check because I'm got my hands on the wall.
It's a good look for you.
It's
I
good.
heard staying there all day. Yeah.
This the floor sees when I do press ups.
That's funny. Polly says, "Wouldn't it be better to go forward? Like, what's life like 100 years after the Skywalkers? Like, that's actually that you can go in either direction. Just give me a new story, but that would be awesome. Palpatine is gone. The balance is
awesome.
like what? Who else is bringing the void? Because there's always going to be exploiters, right?
The books went like during the
Skywalker saga because there's the new powers they brought in for Rey because she's basically got like godlike powers. I mean, like getting all the powers of the past Jedi, and she's got that weird teleporting thing she does. The lightsaber.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
The Legends books went like 50 years into the future, but they also didn't kill off the main cast. So you had like geriatric Han Solo still like doing shit, which is kind of funny. But yeah,
I'm into this cover, man. I think I'm gonna read it. It looks sick.
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
Yeah, I'm into it. I think it looks cool. Although I'm reading that she's Wonder Woman's twin sister, and now I'm like, is that actually possible in reality?
Do they know what twin means?
White.
I don't know if they know what twin means. It might be like a language barrier here. They're actually Norwegian, and in Norway, twin means something totally different.
That's it. That's exactly it. They're like twin sister. I'm like, is she though?
Is it possible for two sperm to inseminate two eggs during intercourse?
Yeah, no, there is. There's fraternal twins and there's stuff like that. There's actually so we laugh, but there's literally a news story about a woman who gave birth to twins, and one was black, one was white, and it's actually possible. Yeah.
Because she had a threesome with a black guy and a white guy, and one
sure
sperm went to one egg, one sperm went to the other egg.
I'm not exact. I think that's actually possible because that's one of the type of twins that you can have from one man. Because I don't know if you know this, but one man can throw in a lot of sperm.
Right. But I'm saying if one's black and one's white, maybe if there's a threesome, a black guy and a white guy, and they both jizzed at the same time, and one sperm went to one egg, and one sperm went to the other egg. That's definitely one of the ways.
Or the one dude is a biracial guy and carries both genes. But your way works. But
my way also works. That's also possible. So
science, bitches.
That's the only way I'll conceive.
I hope that's how it happens.
Is in a threesome, two dudes.
One black, one white.
If the timing is off, it's morning after pill. I need it simultaneously.
I always heard one testicle was for the boys and one testicle was the girls. So
that's some Liverpool shit right there. That's some. So that's pretty much.
So many balls by now, if that was true.
What's that?
I would have so many balls by now if that was true. I should go back and collect.
Let's see. Yeah, 5,000 years before you can create. Bring Cade Skywalker, the thug junkie Skyrat Skywalker descendant.
Cool.
I don't know who that is. Is that a legacy thing? And that's from Anatoly.
Yeah, I want to read future shit. I'm with you. I want to read stuff where like we've never seen it before.
Yeah. But here's the deal. Here's what I'll say. I'm worried about U.S. education now. Because Russia's like they lead the globe in education and
Hold on. Be careful, mate. She can still come visit, probably.
Yeah, probably. Polly is super smart. I'm just talking about the whole nation as a whole.
Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that Venom is outselling Spider-Man right now?
What?
I'm pretty sure that anything that Donny Cates puts his name on is gonna outsell whatever the fuck anybody else is doing.
First time.
Venom Gwen or Ghost Spider thing still going?
For Ghost Spider? I don't know if Ghost Spider's still going. I know
Ghost Spider got cancelled.
Got canceled. But Venom for the first time in history is outselling Spider-Man, which is pretty cool.
Sweet.
And because Venom rules.
Venom does rule.
What's that, Michael?
What was that, Michael?
You make the one way you make Venom cooler is you give him a sword, and they've given him a sword.
Facts.
That's
the necros. Yeah, that's facts. So
Facts.
you got Donny Cates and a sword. You can't win. I mean, you can't lose.
what's the sickest weapon? Like, what automatically makes someone cool? Is it a lightsaber? Is it a sword? Is it a gun? Like, what's the fucking dopest weapon?
You know what it is? I'll tell you right now.
Mace. Definitely a mace.
It's your
A
heart.
It's
Your heart is.
Robo.
If you got heart,
Your heart.
that's the greatest
You're
weapon.
that guy from Captain Planet. Heart.
With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
I think there is a video where like he's like heart, and he's like, "What the fuck is this? I get fucking heart. You get fire."
You guys know Henry Cavill is coming back as Superman?
Oh, that is so weird.
Did it confirm?
He's going to be like the Hulk in the MCU, where he's just cameoing, like Ragnarok. I'd take it if there's a Shazam Black Adam versus Superman movie. I'd watch that. That'd be good.
Sweet.
That would be dope.
I love that
Anatoly
Shazam
says
movie. I haven't
arm
watched it.
cannon. Somebody plays Final Fantasy VII. Arm cannon is a pretty dope weapon, but extremely impractical. So I'm still going through Final Fantasy VII right now, and I see the dude. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he.
Robo, what do you think? Is it you love it? Do you love it?
Oh yeah, no, I love it. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's only chapter 1," and blah blah blah, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's only chapter 1, but it's like 40 hours of extra story. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
I like it."
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that Ruby American animated series. It's like kind of what's the word? Fucking not Alice in Wonderland. Wizard of Oz inspired. So it's got like cool, but the weapons in that, man, like they've got
What is it
things
called?
that transform into other things. So they'll have like a gun that's a whip, or
What is
like
it called?
It's so fucking rad.
That's what I want my guns to do. Is
What is it called?
Yeah, it's so it's RWBY, but I think it's pronounced Ruby, and it's an anime series, and it's fucking so tits. But they've got like a scythe that's a gun, and like a big like basically guns that just turn into everything.
You know what? So here's the deal. I play a lot of video games, and what I find, especially when I'm playing Final Fantasy 14, if I have too many options on my controller, I kind of like mess up all the time until I really get it. And let me tell you something. I'd be really mad if I'm like gonna shoot some like big bad guy, and I'm like, oh, and then it turns into a whip into my hand. I'm like, oh shit, and I'm like trying to, and then it shoots a bullet into my partner next to me. I'm like, why does this gun have so many options?
Yeah, I want to see if I can find.
I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Witcher 3 at the same time, and I keep getting.
Yes, I know what you're going to say.
The button to mount the horse wrong, so it's a different button to Red Dead than it is The Witcher. So in The Witcher, I keep trying to punch the horse all the time.
Yeah. So Senua's Blade, I just got done playing. By the way, I think it's called Hellblade. Senua's Blade.
Yeah, so good.
Oh my god, that is just one of the best single player like indie games I've played.
You finished it? You played it? Oh, so good. So good.
Headphones on. You play it with like headphones on? Like,
I played it at night, headphones on, lights off. So good. So good.
That's the way you gotta play it.
Yeah.
Is that the super scary one?
No. I wouldn't even call it super scary, but it's like
illness. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's deep, and there are some spots where you're like, I clipped some of the gameplay and put it in the gamer group. There is one part where you gotta like crawl around like in this space with all these demons. You don't have a sword at this point, and you gotta avoid them. And it's kind of the way the designer did it is there's no like true shape to them, and everything's kind of foggy because it's so dark. So when you look at them, they're just like kind of like doing this morph thing, like if you're going crazy, right? And so good. Anyways, what I was gonna say was,
it's like they have like that whole the way when you get injured, like that thing spreads up your arm in Hellblade.
Oh yeah. The big spoiler on that. Have you played it through? Are you done?
I've played it a couple times.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So there is a spoiler. I'm gonna reset my camera here in a little bit, but there is a spoiler to the whole deal. So if you haven't played it, just mute your phone for like 5 seconds. That arm spread thing never kills you. The developer said
death thing.
Say it again.
Like if I thought that was like if that spread all the way to the top, then
That's
it's
what-
permadeath.
that's what
from the beginning.
That's what the game tells you, and I'll tell you, I'm not the most skilled gamer, right? And so I died, and I died quite a bit, and then it got up to the shoulder, and I remember as I kept going, my anxiety kept building and building, and I knew I was getting close to the end because I had killed all the gods I needed to, and then I'm going through the death realm, and I'm like, if this fucking game makes me start from the beginning, I'm deleting it. There's no fucking way I'm going all the way back to the beginning. And I'm like getting mad at myself for something that hasn't like happened yet. And I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden they would do the animation and show the deal. And then as I get towards the end of the game, I kept dying in like as I'm going up to Hela. Excuse me. And I noticed, I'm looking at the neck and I'm like, I don't think this thing is going to kill me. Then you get the permadeath at the end. This is all spoilers. I'm sorry if you like unmuted him. Like, okay, he's got to be done by now. Oh, I unmuted him. That's like, this bitch. No, but and then I read it, and then this is what Florian was telling me, and I looked it up. The developers did that to you in the game just to increase their anxiety and the stress levels to try to emulate her stress. It never was gonna kill you. There's no way to die enough times.
Fake out.
Yeah.
I was stressing out so much. As soon
Me
as I
too.
heard that, I was like, don't die,
Yeah.
don't die.
Yeah.
I've spent money on this game. If I have to start again, I'm going to burn my console.
They actually had a no kidding mental health professional on the team, and she, man, dude, this game is so good. Look, this.
They tried to do, Judah, this accurate representation of auditory hallucinations. So they make them, when you're wearing your headphones, they like sound like they're coming from different areas of the room, which I don't know if you guys have ever
Just
had.
turn around. What is she doing? She's such an idiot.
Yeah, like that is legit.
Shut
You
up,
feel
leave
like
her
they're
alone.
coming
She
from
can do
different places
this.
of the apartment
Weird.
or house. It's fucking insane.
And this is PSVR.
No.
No.
Although that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. Is it a PlayStation exclusive? It is, isn't it?
I don't know, but he has
There was
PlayStation, so I
nothing
mean,
Yeah.
it's not full
wait,
price.
You said this is not a VR game, but it still feels like it's coming from.
It does feel like VR.
It's auditory,
Yeah,
so you want to have headphones, and so you just like left and right, and it's positive and negative, and then if you do mess up, the voices aren't just random. Like it's actually what you do, right? Because there's a bunch of times where I kind of like got turned around, and the voices are like, "What is she going? Where is she going? Where is she going?" Like she doesn't even know where she's going. And they don't say fuck, but in my head I was gonna say. But I'm
And
like,
it's not scary. And you're saying it's not scary because that sounds.
It is.
scary.
It is. But towards the end of the game, I'm kind of used to it, and there are times where I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" But that's the point. Like that's the point. It doesn't ever stop. There are points in the game where it stops, and there's a reason why it stops. Because
So they're whispering. So this game, there's constantly people whispering to you.
Like 90% of the game.
That's weird.
But some of
I
it
wanna
is
try it.
positive.
I'll
positive.
I'll download it. I'll download it after this stream and I'll give it a shot.
Nice.
It's really
Yeah, you
good.
should. I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
It's fun. Yep. It's a really good story. It's just like so well executed.
Yeah. Anatoly's played it. He said he experienced the trauma and what she was thinking it is ingenious. I think that's what it really. And so then, oh, by the way, and then I'll be done talking about it. Not only all those actual like elements of the gameplay itself, but then when you get done with the game, and this part I won't spoil. When you get done with the game, and you see what's going on for real, and then it lets you take a step back, and then your brain does like this whole freaking Quentin Tarantino montage thing where you like go back and then you're going like, oh, this means that and that means that and she's doing this and like this is awesome. Yeah.
I love like good foreshadowing, man.
Yes.
That's always
Yeah.
it's such a good payoff every time. Like I'm trying to think of books that do it really well. I don't know if you guys have any examples or any comics that do foreshadowing really well.
The Haunting of Hill House show or that had what I
A plus. Mike.
Oh, the
so
hanged
good.
woman, the crooked
foreshadowing.
neck woman. Yes.
Yes.
That whole crooked neck woman thing.
Spoilers.
When the thing happens and the spoilery thing happens and you're like, holy shit, It's that.
And you go back through everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
That's
your
Cena.
emotion does a 180 because insert hanged woman here, emotion here until the plot twist, and then it's like insert totally new emotion, and it's like
Yeah, it's devastating. It's fucking devastating because you realize she's trapped in that forever.
It's terrifying.
No worries, Anatoly. Anatoly says difficult and ingenious. Sorry, drunk French writing fluid English. Let me tell you something. I never, ever, ever in my entire life will ever judge broken English because I can't do broken anything else. I haven't even mastered English, so good on you. Good on you.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Michael. That's it. That's
what you say?
He hasn't mastered it, and he's English. English is fucked when you think about it. Like there are so many rules where you're like, but not that one, you know?
Yeah, it's like, oh no, don't say it like that because it's a Germanic word, and that one, no, don't spell it like that because it's a Latin-based word, and it's like,
it's Arkansas, except it's Arkansas River.
Yeah,
what?
Arkansas and Kansas, and then you got to go, especially for that kind of stuff. And I guarantee, and I bet you see a lot of this stuff in really everywhere, right? So you got your Celtic-rooted languages in the UK, and then you have your Aboriginal languages and stuff. And so when you bring that into the culture, it's like, oh no, you can't spell it like that because that's a native Navajo word, and that's why it's said like this. And it's like, what's going on?
I don't know if
here?
you guys do this with Native Americans, but the Woolies is around the corner from me. When I walk in there's a plaque that's like, we thank the first people, and they like list the tribes, the Aboriginal tribes. Is that a thing?
No. In the United States of America? Fuck no. Jesus.
Fuck no. Only in casinos, man.
Not even then. Golly. No.
What was that?
You say Woolies, you mean the Woolworths?
Woolworths, yeah.
I've actually heard of Woolworth, but
it's so
I feel like that's like a laundry detergent here or something.
Woolies.
I don't know.
Woolworths.
So let me gush a little bit more in our Judah and Robo will not be returned.
You join us.
Worst twist since Palpatine.
What do you so let me gush a little bit more about one other thing, and then this one you guys definitely everyone can go in here.
Before you do, I have a question for you with Hellblade.
I'm just kidding.
Did it make you think about what it would have been like for a person way back when in like medieval times having
that's one of the things. No, that's one of the things. And I don't want to give any more spoilers because Aaron said he's going to play it, so I feel bad already. Judah. Yeah. But that is one of the things. And it's like as you're sitting there, I sat on the couch for like, I'm gushing about it on Discord. Look us up. I'm gushing about it on Cypher Worlds. Look him up. In Discord, and I'm just like, and as I'm typing about it, new things, and I'm like, and then because here's the deal, and I wish I got Judah to play it, and we should just do a whole fucking episode on Senua's Blade because after Judah plays it, how are they gonna do a part 2? And I have it because Senua learned something new about her family, right? And then that helps her but that's a whole new trauma. That's a whole new level of Nordic gods to fight as she battles through that. And yes. And it makes me feel bad. And you know what? If you feel bad about people with mental illnesses in the 20s, can you imagine what it would have been like in the 1500s or something?
I don't know. Have you guys seen that meme where it's like, if I had depression back in the 1920s, my cure would have been heroin and a vibrator, like, as a woman? Because that's basically what they did. They're like, oh, she's hysterical. Put her in the fuck machine and give her some opioids. Like,
but that's the best. That's the best case scenario. You also can get electrocuted and get a hole put in your head. So
that's true.
Yeah. You just go in there like, come on, vibrator and heroin. Come on. Mama needs an orgasm.
Do that shit anymore. Why don't we do that shit anymore? That would totally work.
Yeah.
Depressed. Yeah, get super high, get fucked.
That's what I do. I'm like, guys, I'm not feeling too well. I'm gonna go rub one out real quick. That's all I needed, guys. What we doing today?
Fuck. Polly has recommended it a few times, but if you guys haven't read it, you need to read the Heroin Diaries. The Heroin Diaries.
I've heard it's really good.
I'm glad that you went straight there because we just got done talking about heroin and
a few times.
Polly's actually recommended it a few times. I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, hey, you do you.
Shut up, man. Shut up.
How long have we been talking about this?
Too long.
Yeah, no, we do this. We do this often.
But Heroin Diaries, good read. You should read that shit.
Heroin Diaries. Is that about that? Is it about the whole, like, they used to give you heroin when you were depressed, or is it something else?
No, it's like his rock star career. So he does a lot of heroin. But like, there's times where he flushes like $15,000 worth of drugs down the toilet because he's so paranoid. He keeps thinking like cops are at his door. So he buys all these drugs from his dealer, flushes them, then rings the guy back and he's like, hey, can you come back around? I flushed all my shit. Like, that's how fucked this guy's brain was when he was...
That would be like a white whale to a drug dealer. I'd be like, yes.
Oh, yeah. That'd be the best shit.
I might even like start saying shit. Like, I'm like, after I drop off the drugs, I'm like...
You hear that siren?
Here you go, guy. Yeah, here you go. Fuck. Like, everything okay? Yeah. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. He's gonna totally flush these down the toilet and call me again.
I can totally see that shit happening. But man, when you think back to like what they had to do during the day, like we look at our phones 90% of the fucking day, right? But like back then, you were stuck with your thoughts for so much of the day.
That's
You're just
right.
like processing your own. There's no fucking switches or DSs or like portable shit for you to vent your stuff out on. You just got
That's
a
right.
guitar, a bunch of drugs, and your own brain.
Yeah. You know, people like to romanticize that and go, well, you had to actually deal, you actually had to deal with it, right? But it's almost like the pendulum for harm, or if the middle is healthy, the pendulum for harm just kind of moves. Okay, so you don't have as much escapism. You're forced to actually deal with what might be causing you depression if it's not chemically based, right? But you don't have anybody giving you the tools for it.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows how to deal with it. And so suicide rates are through the fucking roof because you have to confront it, but you don't know how. And masturbating is just not working for you anymore. So then you just blow your brains out.
Were suicide rates higher back then?
I don't know. I
That's
just
an
made it up, but I'm pretty
excellent
sure. Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's look it up.
I'm sure that
Here's the problem with data like that, though, is when you start looking at, like, what are the pedophile rates for the Catholic Church in the 1600s? Who fucking knows?
0.
Nobody kept records on that. Yeah, it was the greatest time in the
Right.
fucking world. Nobody was,
So I guess we don't really know either way then.
we don't know. We don't know. But what we do know...
Michael, is your mum still there? I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, she's never heard of masturbation before.
My mom would probably just throw something at me. Like, I'd be like at my house, and I'm like, and they'd be like, all of a sudden you see this slipper. Sorry, I'm live, Mom.
Hey.
Hey, Mom Malone. How you doing, ma'am? Hey, you guys gonna switch? You guys gonna switch now?
That would be amazing. She's like, I'll hold it for a bit, dear.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
You need to go brush your teeth.
I have to ask the audience, I don't know if they'll comment or not, but like Polly and Anatoly, can you tell me if these guys can you do your updated Australian accent for us? Because I think you're getting better as you go.
Oh,
That's
on the
pretty
spot.
fucking bogan, mate.
There it is.
Hey,
I'm so chuffed about how bogan that is, mate.
I came out of the store, and there he was. No, mine just goes between the UK and out. There he was, just going down the street. All I had was my knickers on, and I said, "No, mate, you can't just go like that." That video you said.
Michael, do you use the word chuffed in England? Is that a thing?
We do.
Yes. Okay, so it's not just us.
Chuffed has not made it onto American soil yet. We are the first Americans to ever say chuffed. And I've been saying it a lot.
That's not true. It is definitely not an American word, but Mylene and her friend were like saying that a bunch. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And they just laughed. They laughed at that I didn't know, and I never even bothered to look it up, but I didn't appreciate getting laughed at, so now I hate the word chuffed.
It's like, yeah, like there's a certain type of American that spends a little bit of time, like maybe 2 weeks in the UK, and they start saying mate all the time.
Yeah.
We were talking about that
Or
last night. Like,
cheers.
cheers.
Or cheers. Yeah.
See, but here's the thing. When people say mate, I feel like they're trying to be cute and ironic. I don't know why. Stupid things annoy me sometimes. But a lot of people here say cheers on the phone unironically, and then it just makes me mad. I'm like,
that's not a thing you say.
yeah, you don't talk like that. You're not fucking British. So what are you saying fucking cheers for?
But that's how they're gonna feel about me. That's how they're gonna feel about me when I'm like sitting there and totally unironically saying, "Oh yeah, I'm really chuffed for these cheese fries to get here because I love cheese."
But I'll be around the corner, like not in the scene, but just I'm like, shut the fuck up.
pretty darn chuffed.
What were you gonna say, Michael?
I wasn't going to say anything at all. I'm just letting you lot make a fool of yourself.
What are your thoughts on masturbation and heroin?
We're trying to make an entire career out of making a fool of ourselves, so
yeah.
This is just
let that fear go because it's gone.
Me, I'm just like the old Wolverine of X-Men.
Ooh.
I'm going to make some tea.
Did you hear
Ooh,
that?
tea sounds good. I was gonna get vodka, but tea actually sounds pretty good.
Most British shit. I love it.
Hey, we're gonna start moving towards a closure, but before we do, Aaron, what are you reading right now?
Who the fuck is Aaron? I'm just kidding.
God damn it! Fucking government names out here.
I'm doing my. I'm kind of going. I'm backtracking. I'm on my second read through of Jonathan Hickman Avengers, New Avengers, leading up to Secret War, and I'm at the time runs out portion of the story. So it's really good. If you read comics, doesn't matter if you like superhero comics or not. If you like stuff, you definitely got to read the Jonathan Hickman New Avengers, all the way to Secret Wars. It's amazing.
Is that where you would start?
So here, there's various places to start. If you want a quick and easy direct route, start with New Avengers 1, Avengers 1, and just read them all the way to read those both two titles in their entirety, and then read Secret Wars. That's the quick and dirty. But if you want more backstory, I would start back with Fantastic Four, Jonathan Hickman, Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Not to be confused with FF,
which ties into Fantastic. So
it does.
They both kind of tie into each other. But you could just read Fantastic Four. That's fine.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
I was thinking about doing this on Twitch.
It's
a puzzle. Yeah, 1,000 pieces, man. If anyone wants to do this on Twitch with me, let me know.
You're gonna log into your PS4 Twitch and make people watch you put together a puzzle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make it a Q&A session.
But do it like you're streaming a game. Be like, oh man, where's this other fucking piece? Oh, here it is. Oh fuck yeah, it fits.
And you gotta have your own fanfare recorded. Found it, guys. Found it.
Drop this. Ready?
And it actually goes to the roof. Like, come on. No, it's right there in the top corner.
That was live streaming back in like the 20s though. Like it was just a stage and a guy putting a puzzle together and talking while he was doing it.
Yeah. With a magnifying glass and a candle that projected it onto the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he's got it.
Across the street.
Like they didn't curse back then, so he'd lose a piece and he'd be like, "Oh, black, where is it?" Black.
Michael Malone, what are you reading right now? What comics are you reading? I know you're a big Valiant fan. Let us know about some Valiant shit.
Oh well, I've kind of let Valiant slide at the moment.
Okay, what are you reading?
Empire. I think I recommended it to you, didn't I?
What's that?
We told them.
Evil Empire. I told you about that.
I'm gonna write these stuff down.
It's about an evil empire, basically. You know, bad people doing bad stuff, and it's my sort of thing because I'd like to be a supervillain.
You taking notes?
Michael, these are the only Valiant books I own. I have this Exo Man of War, this Harbinger, this other Exo Man of War volume, this Bloodshot volume, and then I have Ninjak, and that's all I got.
No, like Valiant have this beautiful way of doing crossovers. Like you got where War of the Realms, where you have to buy every book with every character if you want to get like the full story.
Yeah.
Valiant have managed to like streamline their big crossover events into like say 4 to 6 issues, so you don't need to buy all like all the stories will converge onto just one event where you can just like read that.
So there's no tie-in.
It's all awesome. Just like like the first one they tried that way was the Harbinger Wars, and that was amazing. It was like Bloodshot saving a bunch of Psyots, which is like the Valiant version of mutants from like
the Harbinger mutants.
Bloodshot saving all these Psyot kids from like Toyo Harada, which is like the big bad in the universe, and it all culminates in a big, huge X-Men style battle in Las Vegas. It's amazing. It's brilliant.
So a Toyo Harada's bad. Well, that's
he's very bad.
He's good. So I'm only on early Harbinger, and he still seems good. So spoiler.
Yeah, he's all right, I suppose.
Yeah. You know what? I can't remember actually. He might stay good. I don't know.
Every Valiant thing I've read is good. I haven't read anything Valiant that sucks yet, and I'm
really happy. I want to say the Bloodshot #1 that I showed you. I bought when I was on that one trip. And I posted up on. I read that. That was good. And then this last Incursion, I was super impressed with. And I was actually the only. And I even said this to Alex Packnadell. That I said the only thing I had was it seemed so epic, and they pushed it into 4 comics. It just like, man, I wish I had went 10 or something. Like it was such an epic story. I loved it.
I guess that's the Valiant way.
That's them doing the job properly. I mean, if you want more once it's finished, then that means it's a good story, I suppose.
Yeah, and keep reading the other titles that are I hear you.
So
Sorry.
Just real quick. So I found these in $1 boxes. I have Bloodshot I have Rye #1, which is one of my favorite comic book covers ever. I just love it.
Okay.
I got Turok #1, which is also a Valiant title. This is pre-2012, early like 90s Valiant.
Yeah, he's coming back now, Turok. They've brought him back into it.
And then I got Bloodshot #1, and this is notable because not only is it Bloodshot #1 from the 90s, but it's also the first ever foil cover for a comic book.
Oh,
did we find that last one? Did we find that together? I swear I have that one too. Was that?
We might have found that together.
Yeah.
I got it from the lair.
Yeah. I think there was 2 of them.
Anytime, for some reason, I don't think they have any value, but every time, like, I'm always hunting for early Valiant, like pre-reboot Valiant #1s. So if I see a pre-reboot Valiant #1, I have to have it.
I'm a sucker for old stuff in general. If I see like a 1970s or 1960s comic, I'm like, gotta have it. And it's like horrible storyline. You look it up and it's like worth $1.48, and I'm like, still, it's old.
Yeah.
Ray, we're looking for some recommendations. Fatal.
I'm in a Brubaker mood. So I've been reading a lot of Brubaker, and this is the latest. I've been eyeing it off. There's so many books in this series. I don't know if it's an anthology. I haven't started yet, but I downloaded it last night.
Is the series called Fatal?
Yeah.
Is that Phillips illustrating it, or is it Epting?
Sean Phillips.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really beautiful artwork. Like, I'm going to see if I can bring some up for you, but look at this shit. You see that?
Is that in the criminal? Oh no, it's definitely not in the criminal universe.
Oh yeah.
That looks like an old one's like
Yeah, like a Cthulhu type.
Yeah,
it's fucking
great old.
Yeah, I would recommend it. Like, so good.
Which reminds me, remind me to remind you later to talk about villain models for the comic book. Remind remind me.
Yeah,
to
that's.
remind
Is
you.
this a leak?
No, I wouldn't do
Do
that.
people
to him.
know about that?
I know what his brain's doing right now. He's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and gush a little bit on Arcadia. So one of the best things. So here's the deal. People like. I always go the wrong way because my camera's flipped. People like these three right here. They love to read, and I would say probably reading is like number one for them. For me, I think my number one is probably more video games than reading. And not that it's way more video games, but I split my time. I don't know how you do it, because she plays tons of video games too. She's like the master of nerddom. But I end up not reading a whole lot of stuff. So then when we do the show, and you know, Michael Malone says, "Hey, this guy wants to do an interview with you," or Judah goes, "Hey, this guy." So it forces me to read stuff that I probably wouldn't have otherwise read because I'd still be working on Final Fantasy VII or something.
How fucking dope is it? You get exposed to so much cool shit.
And one of the coolest things that I've been exposed to recently is Arcadia by Alex Packnadel. And so I didn't even get to finish it by the interview. And here's another thing. I'm just gonna little behind the scenes deal. Sometimes a book is good, but once we have the interview, then I'm like, there's other things I want to read, you know, and I still got other things to catch up on. We're done with the interview, and I go up to my bed and I'm still reading it. Like, it's so good. The premise is plague hits the earth, 7 billion people die. Where does all that knowledge go? Where does the knowledge of all the doctors and scientists and engineers and stuff? How do we save this, right? And then there's other variables to this layer of onions here. So they have found out a way to download all these people before they die into this massive server, and now everyone you get put into the Matrix, but it's a little bit different than the Matrix. In the Matrix, you had a human body, and then they made your brain think it was in this other world. These people are not around anymore. Their corporal bodies are gone. They've died, but right before they died, their consciousness got digitized and downloaded into the simulator. And so it talks, it gets pretty existential. Do they have human rights? Are they actual people? What's going on inside? Class warfare. Check out Arcadia by Alex Packnadel if you haven't already. Such a great book. Such a great book.
And it would make an amazing HBO series.
Gosh, yeah.
Definitely. That'll be brilliant.
Yeah, and we talked to him about it a little bit last night offline, and he made some good points. You do have Black Mirror. Black Mirror has an episode that's pretty much the same premise, but the Black Mirror episode kind of like gave like a positive spin on it. You also have Westworld that kind of plays with that a little bit as far as the consciousness of digital things. But who cares? Like, who cares? We have a lot of same stories. This is a unique spin on it.
Ride it till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean? Who cares? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a unique spin, even if it's not a unique premise, right? Because what we say, Isaac Asimov, iRobot, all that stuff, like we get it.
It's the perspective that's the perspective that's different. That makes it worth reading.
Yeah,
like sci-fi. Think about all the great sci-fi you've ever read, and this dude is such a good sci-fi writer. All his series are fucking A+ sci-fi, in my opinion. But that it's the same concepts over and over, but explored in different settings and with different characters and in different ways. It's fucking rad.
Yeah,
so good.
I think you guys are all in for a treat with his Empire one-shots. He put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and love into those one-shots, and he is a very special kind of writer. I see him in the same vein as Jonathan Hickman in the sense that it's high sci-fi.
Yeah,
and I
very
think
researched. Yeah.
I think people are going to see a lot more of him in Marvel, especially if these one-shots do well, which based on what I've read of his, they will do well. They're going to be awesome. I'm very excited to get my hands on these. So, definitely a name to keep an eye out for.
For sure.
All right, guys. I think we'll wrap it up here. Sorry, we had a kind of a rolling start there. We didn't promote the video just well enough. I know we got 7 people in here now. But appreciate you coming out to support those who did. And Don't forget to check us out. We are on Facebook. We're on Discord. We're on Reddit. You'll see the links in the description. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. And really, we're just trying to like bring in
LinkedIn.
You're on LinkedIn. I think we should like take the IFLC logo and like Photoshop a little a suit and tie onto it or something for LinkedIn.
That's actually.
We're also on Grindr, Tinder, Hinge. Grindr, Tinder, Hinge, and OkCupid.
And Bumble and Plenty of Fish. Yeah.
If you haven't already, you have to hop on our Discord. Join us on Discord because we've got some really cool people doing some like IFLC influenced art, and I won't like spoil it, but if you want to go have a look on our Discord server, people are doing cool shit. Thank you so much for doing that. It's fucking dope. It's rad.
It's pretty awesome.
We're also on XNXX.
Not yet. Not yet, Judah. Stop. I haven't posted those videos yet.
Thanks, Michael, for doing those, by the way.
Sex. See you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you for watching IFLC. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and be free. Follow our links and watch our show because you want to and not because of the threats. Thank you for watching Judah, Robo, and Ree. We talk about comics, movies, and TV. Sometimes we have notable guests, and sometimes it's just us. But we're also cool.